Hi everybody, and happy New Year. Thank you so much for tuning in on this, obviously, December the 31st. It's Tuesday. Feels like Monday, not just for the reason of my absence yesterday, but these holidays in the middle of the week are giving us a series of Mondays. It feels like we're getting at least 2 Mondays to every week here as of late. Looking forward to a regular schedule in just a few days. Looking forward to sharing another year with you here at Your News Today. A great deal to cover tonight. First off, my absence yesterday. Apologies are, of course, warranted. Lacey's dance competition, as did a lot of other local girls who were participating, ran over with more teams performing or competing than what they had originally planned for. So it was a late night traveling home from the Nashville area last night, and that's the reason for my absence. And it also means that I've got a great deal of news to try to squeeze in to the remainder of this half hour. You know, in 15 years, I can't recall ever being with you on a New Year's Eve. It usually falls closer to the weekend. It's a holiday that we try to take off, only one of a couple of days that we get off without being sick or something breaking. But this time, I'm here with you, and it's kind of nice. We'll have a lot to talk about tonight, including the pleas entered yesterday on behalf of a Sagersville couple facing charges alongside Morgan County Judge Executive Tim Connolly. An auto accident resulting in an airlift just a few moments ago. Also, some basketball scores for your favorite high school teams, which are off for the holiday and until next year. And a big reminder about a big event tomorrow, how you can get your tummy full, keep yourself or your loved ones out of the kitchen, and help support a local life-saving organization, which was responding to that aforementioned auto accident just a few moments ago. So stay tuned. We've got a lot to get in. The last show of 2013, as hard as that is to believe. Kenneth Gamble and Ruth Gamble of Sagersville, owners of PBTHNOJJ, as the business is formerly called, construction company, were arraigned in U.S. District Court in Lexington in front of Magistrate Judge Robert Weir yesterday. The local owners of the bridge construction company are accused, alongside Morgan County Judge Executive Tim Connolly, in participating in a bid rigging, kickback, and bribery scheme that netted the Gambles more than $1.1 million in contracts and kickbacks that were ultimately funneled towards or to Mr. Connolly himself. As we understand, both pleaded not guilty yesterday through their attorneys. That is now setting up a court case which will begin after the first of the year. As for Judge Connolly, he is still McGoffin County Judge Executive. He still remains under house arrest since pleading not guilty on December the 10th, the day after he was arrested on federal charges. As for the Gambles, after pleading not guilty yesterday, the judge allowed them to remain as well free on their own recognizance. No bond was issued in their summonses. Per the indictment that I outlined for you when it was first unsealed, Kenneth Gamble and Tim Connolly are charged with 4 counts of mail fraud and 1 count each of theft from a program that receives federal funds, as well as money laundering. Ruth Gamble was charged with conspiracy to money laundering. Federal authorities say that from early sometime in 2009 until August of this year, Connolly rigged bids for small projects in Morgan County for the Gamble's bridge construction company, in exchange getting gifts, cash, and other things of significant value. And they're also accused of misusing federal funds that were destined for Morgan County and West Liberty after the March 2nd tornado. While they all remain free on bond, with the exception of Connolly being placed under house arrest with the conditions that he have no contact with anyone but his family and definitely no contact with any county employees. Trial for the case is set for the 4th day of February in Frankfort, and that will be before Judge Gregory Van Tatenhoff. Trooper Pratt with the Kentucky State Police and Sagersville City Police Officer Mike Nichols together netted 8 arrests of individuals traveling through Sagersville last night, and some of those were very significant. Pounds of marijuana, thousands in cash, and it's all part of a trend that appears to have been ongoing for quite some time. We'll outline some of those arrests coming up right after these messages. Well, like it or not, Christmas is over for 2013. But the very best way and only opportunity you're going to have like this to get a head start for next year, it's such an amazing deal, is to stop by Fraser's Prater Drug Seasonal Shop, where for a very limited time, everything Christmas, including all their gorgeous Christmas trees, it's marked half off. Now, as you know, it can't last forever because these items just aren't going to last forever. But all these Christmas items and decor, everything Christmas, 50% off. And if you need a little late Christmas gift for yourself or maybe someone else, well, they've got you covered there too. And special clearance items marked down even more every day. only at the seasonal shop.
Vehicles at cost. This is Earl Justice at Hutch Chevrolet. We've taken the ultimate red tag sale event and made it even bigger. Now till December 31st, 50% of our pre-owned inventory is being sold at cost. That's over 50% of Hutch Chevrolet's pre-owned inventory sold at cost. Go to hutchchevrolet.com and find your vehicle. Print it off and you could be buying it at cost. But you must hurry. Once that vehicle's sold, it's gone at cost pricing. How about the new $50 under invoice on every new 2013 and 2014 Chevy, Buick, GMC in stock, and you keep all rebate now till December 31st. For those of you that waited till the end of the year to buy your vehicle, this is a shot in the arm you've been waiting for. We want to be your Chevy store, and to get this, make no payment till 2014. We are Hutch Chevrolet Buick GMC, Paintsville, Kentucky. Isn't it time for you to buy Hutch?
As we get ready to embrace a bright new year, we'd like to take just a moment to wish you and all those you know and love the safest, healthiest, and happiest of New Years. From your home away from home for short-term rehabilitation or long-term nursing care needs, all with a standard of excellence and a tradition of caring. Happy New Year from Sagersville Nursing and Rehabilitation.
At the end of every race, Mark Martin hangs up his driving gloves. He hangs up his fire suit. And he hangs up his helmet. Which is why he picks up his phone and opens the ER Extra app. The app shows ER Extra wait times, locations, and more. It's the one safeguard Mark Martin is never without. ER Extra at Paul B. Hall Regional Medical Center. Extra fast, extra easy, extra great.
This is John at Premier Motor Sales in Paintsville, Kentucky. We appreciate y'all shopping with us, and if you're in the market for a used vehicle, we carry all sorts of different kinds of makes and models. For example, here I have a 2009 Chevy Malibu LT. I also have a 2010 Toyota Corolla S. It's no problem to find you what you're looking for. Give us a call at 297-4121 in Paintsville, Kentucky.
2014 Terexes are in with a newly redesigned 800cc power plant and a new 2-seat configuration. And the XP1000 is on the ground. 107 horsepower and a world-class suspension, plus Polaris financing as low as 2.99%, 5.99 for up to 72 months. But it's only good till the end of the year at Connolly's Kawasaki and Polaris of Paintsville. Sagersville Police Officer Mike Nichols and Trooper Pratt with the Kentucky State Police, as they have been doing quite consistently and effectively over the past several months, netted several arrests of individuals traveling through Sagersville and Magoffin County last night. In all, 8 arrests, some of them very significant in nature and all pretty much drug-related, including more than 2 pounds of marijuana in one vehicle, a great deal of cash, and a very unusual way of trying to dispose of a significant amount of marijuana in another. And this, of course, follows several other drug-related arrests that have taken place here in our area over the course of the past few months. It makes for just a little bit of a difficult or unusual reporting situation. Both officers working the night shift up until, well after dawn on many occasions, and trying to get some rest before the next shift begins, about the same time we're all getting to start going for the day. So they are gracious enough to forward us on some documents and some photographs accompanying information pertaining to these arrests. This, more than 2 pounds of marijuana that was seized from one vehicle very early this morning on the Mountain Parkway. Upon conducting a traffic safety checkpoint, they stopped one vehicle that was being driven by a Martin County man identified as Kevin Maynard. Police citations indicate that Maynard was behind the wheel of a vehicle and ultimately charged with driving under the influence, trafficking of marijuana, possession of drug paraphernalia, and promoting contraband. It appears as though he was charged with the promoting contraband charge upon attempting to enter the Big Sandy Regional Detention Center with something illegal on his person. We do not have details on what that is, but we do know that he and a passenger were stopped, and after giving a consent to search the vehicle, Nichols says that he and Officer Pratt found a duffel bag in the back, and inside were those vacuum-sealed bags of marijuana worth more than $4,000 on the street. Maynard also admitted that they had smoked some marijuana on their way, that the vehicle had been purchased for more than $4,000 in California, and that they were on their way to Martin County with the illegal weed. He and his passenger, identified as a Chad Howard, we also believe from the same area, indicated to officers that they believed that the pot would be, since it was in the vacuum-sealed bags, impossible to find as far as being based on sense of smell, and that's why they gave consent to search the vehicle. The vehicle, which, along with the marijuana and other items, was seized by authorities. Also charged with trafficking under 5 pounds of marijuana, possession of drug paraphernalia, possession of marijuana, and public intoxication was Mr. Howard, the passenger. Their arrest taking place around 3:30 this morning in Sagersville. While the amount of marijuana wasn't quite as great in another arrest, it's still significant. Also, the fact that individuals had a couple of $1,000s nearly in cash, and that they tried to dispose of the illegal weed by literally eating it in front of or near police officers. 3 individuals were in a car that was pulled over early this morning on the Mountain Parkway as they were coming through Sagersville, and arrested were all 3 occupants. The driver from Floyd County, James Moore, charged with driving under the influence and failure to wear his seatbelt. Sandra Clifton, also charged with public intoxication. And David Mosley, who was found to be in possession of nearly $2,000 in cash that was stuffed down his pants, that was discovered upon being booked in the Big Sandy Regional Detention Center. However, before all of that, Nichols says that as they were about to search the vehicle and question the individuals, and while questioning one outside the vehicle, they noticed some strange activity on behalf of Mosley in the car, and it appeared as though he was literally attempting to eat the marijuana before it was discovered by authorities. That resulting in the tampering with physical evidence charge against him, as well as possession of marijuana and other charges. And those are just the latest in a string of arrests of such incidents of individuals transporting drugs through or into Sagersville and Magoffin County. Nichols confirmed to me another arrest that took place previously on December the 19th. It's a story that actually began before that. He says at a prior traffic safety checkpoint before the 19th, an individual approaching that checkpoint pulled off suddenly and turned off his lights. They responded to that vehicle, says Nichols, and their suspect, as they were at that time, that the driver had thrown out some drugs through the window in order to avoid detection. Unable to find any items that he had discarded and thrown out, they were unable to charge him and let him go on his way. However, a little later on December the 19th, the same individual came through the same traffic safety checkpoint here in Sagersville, and this time was stopped. Nichols says that in his possession was more than 160 30-milligram OxyContins, needles, Loracet pills, a spoon to melt down the pills, and also some other information that's still under investigation. They're not releasing any names as of yet, but they also say found in his possession was a ledger, if you will, written in some sort of a code detailing transactions, who and what, and also a cell phone with a variety of numbers, a cell phone which rang and received many texts during that arrest of individuals waiting on their drugs in and around the area. Tonight's community calendar is next. We've got much more news to follow. Stay tuned. As always, our calendar brought to you by our friends at Magoffin Farm Bureau. And as always, we love to have special announcements, birthdays, anniversaries, and the like, or whatever your local organization or nonprofit has going on. And we'll start off with one of those special anniversary announcements. This is a happy 49th anniversary, and this is Harry and Martha Arnett celebrating their anniversary tomorrow on January 1. Happy anniversary to you from a whole lot of friends and family to Harry and Martha Arnett. I have got a found in the Lost and Found column. It's a large male German Shepherd, and he's been found. He's wearing an orange collar. He's very nice, very smart. He just can't tell them where he belongs. Call 349-7397. Ask for Sheila. If you have a lost pet or know someone who does matching this description, give them a call. 349-7397. Once again, it's a large male German Shepherd with an orange collar. Night watch service, you still have plenty of time to make it, at the Regular Primitive Baptist Church here in Sagersville, specifically on Coon Creek Road of Magoffin County. It begins at 7 o'clock, and this is your invitation. And our friend is at it again after a big success last year, after doing it for many, many years. Our friend Leola Cole is once again collecting eyeglasses. If you missed last year and you can't believe it's here already, well, go get those glasses out of the drawer, your purse, wherever you have them. Any unused eyeglasses in good or better condition can be used by someone somewhere else who might be in great need, desperate need of a little help seeing or reading. Eyeglass donations can be dropped off at your McGoffin County Senior Citizen Center during the weekdays, and we'll be reminding you of this event as it keeps going on throughout the first few weeks, I suppose, of 2014. I almost said 13. I caught it. But you can drop off any unused eyeglasses at the McGoffin County Senior Citizen Center for the foreseeable future before they're collected and donated abroad. Rumpke wants to remind you, as do I, that your garbage collection service is off a day per the holidays. So Wednesday's service will be collected Thursday, Thursday's Friday, Friday's Saturday. You got that right. And our next community blood drive in McGoffin County is set for Wednesday, January 8, noon till 5 at the Hardin Medical Plaza. Be sure and stop and support the Kentucky Blood Center and their mobile unit. You might save someone's life, maybe someone you know or love, as they might you. With that said, this is how you get those announcements just like this to us. We're getting ready to start off a bright new year. I suspect a lot of things will start to be happening, and if you want everyone to know what they are, well, this is where you need to get them posted. Your News Today. With that said, we do have funeral service announcements for this Tuesday, December 31st. Services were held earlier today in Sagersville on behalf and in honor of 79-year-old Charles Trusty of Mash Fork Road. Charles passed away at his home Saturday over the course of the weekend. In doing so, he leaves behind his wife, John Lee Salyer Trusty, sons David and James, daughters Dee Dee Lewis and Kim Conley. Once again, services held earlier today in Sagersville for Charles Trusty, 79, of Mash Fork Road. Whether you walk in or it's by appointment, your health and well-being and that of your family is always first at Sagersville Medical Center, where a waiting staff of men's, women's, and pediatric healthcare providers, along with the support of their team, stand ready to care for you and your entire family with exams, sick and well visits and checkups, labs, physicals, immunizations, and more for all ages, all day, every weekday at Sagersville Medical Center, proudly keeping you healthy and happy since 1996. Happy New Year from everyone at Sagersville Medical Center.
Hi, I'm Don McFarland. I am an attorney in Sagersville, Kentucky, and I'm here to serve you and meet your legal needs. If you have been injured on the job, if you are interested in receiving your disability or your SSI benefits, if someone's negligence has caused you trouble, basically, if you have been in a car wreck and you've suffered pain, then pick up the phone and call Donald Wayne, 349-9000.
Let's do this. Can't believe my daughter wants to marry a Hatfield.
And I can't believe my son fell in love with a McCoy.
I got one thing to say. They're going to have the wireless plan with the best service.
And I say they're going to have the wireless plan with the biggest savings.
Daddy!
Hush up, Mary Beth.
Pa, stay out of this, Jonah.
We're done talking.
You got that right.
Better service.
Bigger savings.
Daddy, we've both got Appalachian Wireless. Better service.
Bigger savings.
That's today's Appalachian Wireless.
From time and money saving services like their overdraft protection, telephone and online banking services, to finding the right home, college, or car loan, to personalized checking and savings accounts designed around your exact needs, Sagersville National Bank is still your best choice and the same locally owned and operated bank that's been looking out for your family's financial health since 1902. Sagersville National, restoring the piggy bank population one savings at a time. Now, this is not necessarily a commercial. This is much more of a reminder. Not just that tomorrow is New Year's Day. I think we're all going to remember that when we get up in the morning and hopefully don't have to go to work. But the bigger reminder is that don't go to the fridge, don't go to the stove in the morning for breakfast, well, for lunch or dinner tomorrow night either. Save yourself some time, some trouble, and give yourself the day off and help support the McGoffin County Rescue Squad.
And this is the second annual, I'd say. This is a half off on any item in the Dairy Queen except for ice cream cakes plus one. And that plus one is $1 added to whatever your total amount is, and that will go to the rescue squad as a fundraiser. So don't forget, half off on everything except ice cream cakes at Dairy Queen all day long New Year's Day. We will be here in and out, so the rescue squad members, if you want any information about the squad, and the only way you probably wouldn't know if you're traveling through and don't even, through the county, but we've been here 39 years. We're going on 39 years of support, service to the people of McGoffin County and all those who travel through it. So don't forget, New Year's Day, it's all half off except the ice cream cakes plus one. $1 will be added to each transition, and so we hope that you will be gracious and work with that and help us raise some extra money for the repair and continued service for another year to McGoffin County.
That's right, your Sagersville Dairy Queen, as it's been doing for probably every year since they've been open, back in, 86 or so? Have been showing their love and appreciation for their customers every year. Most recently by having their annual BLT sale, during Thanksgiving when that big, beautiful BLT there is $1.99. But then more so by their New Year's Day customer appreciation sale, where everything but the cakes is half off all day long. Well, last year, in an effort to help our McGoffin County Rescue Squad out, they are still doing the same customer appreciation sale as Carter just told you. Everything's still half off, but to that entire bill, they're going to add only $1, and that $1 will be collected and go 100% of it to the McGoffin County Rescue Squad. The Rescue Squad, as you heard Carter say, has been here for about 4 decades. They serve McGoffin County with several hundreds of runs a year, one just a few moments ago, and their newest vehicle they have is an 03 model. Now, that's not that old for you and I to drive around. I've got one much older than that I drive around every day. But when you're talking about getting there on time to try to save someone's life, well, that's a big deal. And a couple of others are just literally getting in bad shape. The upkeep is getting outstanding on top of all the outstanding, on top of all the other bills they have. So if I haven't made you hungry by staring at that big juicy BLT by now, well, I hope I've encouraged you at least to stop by your Sagersville Dairy Queen for the half off plus one sale all day tomorrow, New Year's Day. A couple of other things before we can get to that point. The first being high school basketball scores. Your favorite teams are off for the rest of this year, which is technically only a few moments away from being over. But that doesn't mean they haven't been on the court. A lot of tournaments and away games for a lot of teams. We'll put some of them back on their regular schedule, if you will, in just a few days into the bright new year. As for your McGoffin County Hornets, well, after being on a roll with 3 in a row and with 9 wins, well, they dropped their last contest to Cass, Georgia in the Mountain Schoolboy Classic in overtime, mind you. Oh, it's always a tough one. 67-73 was your final score at Belfry, and that was on, well, the night of the 28th. Now, the boys will be off until they are going to be at Johnson Central on January the 3rd. That's Friday. Doesn't sound so far away when you say it's Friday. Nevertheless, your Hornets 9-5 right now on the season, which is getting very near the halfway mark. Your McGoffin County Lady Hornets pretty well had their way with Clinton, Virginia at Shelby Valley. Just a good old-fashioned beating. 84-36 your final score. 7-3 are your Lady Hornets. That's right, only 3 losses thus far. They're not quite so close to the halfway mark as of yet, but they will be at East Ridge on the 4th, and that will be this coming Saturday night, their next contest. Paintsville Tigers and Coach Bill Runyon, a big win over June Buchanan, 88-66. They're still behind the halfway point, though, at 3-5 on the season. They're hosting Sheldon Clark on this Thursday night. And the Lady Tigers of Paintsville, a big win over Williamsburg, 66-28. That puts them above average, above the halfway point. 6-5 on the season. It also puts them at Jenkins on Friday night. Golden Eagles of Johnson Central, a win over Grant County, 82-64. And that came on night before last at Ashland Blazer in the Ashland Invitational. Puts them dead even right now, 5-5 on the season. That also puts them, as I just mentioned a few moments ago, hosting the McGoffin County Hornets on Friday night. Lady Golden Eagles, 72-36 win over Warren East. They're below the halfway mark, 5-6. They're hosting Lawrence County on the night of the 3rd. That's this Friday night down in Morgan County. Coach Matthew Perry, a win over Phelps, 62-47 for the boys. 8-3 right now. 8-3 in Region 16. They're hosting Greenup County Friday night, hoping to make it 9-3. And for the Lady Cougars and Coach Jeff Brown, 48-46, a narrow win, but it was a win over Lawrence County on the 23rd. They've been off for a few days. They'll be off for a few more. They'll be at Greenup on January the 4th, getting off through both holidays. That was a pretty good little stretch for the Lady Cougars. They should be rested and raring to go. And not lastly, but next is your weather forecast. What does the first of 2014 have in store? Well, if you've been missing a little more wintry weather, which I very seriously doubt you have, you're going to enjoy it. The good news is that, in all seriousness, tonight will be clear, albeit cold, and more sunshine is in store for tomorrow. The first day of 2014 does indeed look bright in more ways than one. Thereafter, maybe not so much. Your last, it's a whole lot of lasts for this evening's show, isn't it? Your last Licking Valley RECC forecast for the year. And, man, we've had some good ones, haven't we? A low of 23 tonight under mostly clear skies. Follows a daytime high of 45, and it was a little windy out there today, so it certainly felt a little colder than that. I actually have a peak wind speed here at the office of 6 miles per hour. My wind gauge is just a little bit isolated with the terrain, so to speak, so it doesn't always get what's out there. And it was only a few miles, I think, more so than 6 miles per hour earlier today. But nevertheless, we had a little breeze blowing about after a morning low of 26. Back down to the 20s we'll go tonight. And then, what does the first day of 2014 have in store? There it is, staring right at you. We should see 46 degrees, mostly sunny. The wind should be calm tomorrow, so it's not going to feel quite as cold as today, and it won't be quite as slow getting to 46 as it was to 45 today. We have that going for us. And it won't be 23 tomorrow morning. It'll be 33, or not tomorrow morning, but the next morning, 33 degrees after the nighttime low. So mostly sunny and pretty fair during the day. You see that line at the bottom of your screen. Well, our next weather maker is going to give us a chance of some rain and snow, mainly after 3 o'clock. So technically Thursday morning, right? We have, though, rain and snow likely before 9 on your Thursday. Temperatures not getting to 40 degrees. And actually, this is where the forecast changes. These are the graphics I had already entered in per the last update an hour ago. Well, an hour ago, we thought we were going to see 39 degrees on your Thursday. Now, you can X that out and put 34 degrees for daytime highs. So that rain is more likely to be mixed with some snow early Thursday morning and throughout maybe even midday. It will be accompanied by wind gusts upwards of 18 miles per hour. Snowy, blustery, no real accumulation expected as of right now, but it's going to be a wintry day with snow showers maybe even continuing into the night on and off. Temperatures around probably closer to 18 at this hour is where I'm going to put them for Thursday night per the last update. Nevertheless, first day of the new year, well, we hope it's not going to be a trend. But then you got to look at Friday. It gets colder. 27, 26 now is our latest updated forecast. Under partly sunny skies instead of mostly sunny there. We'll have a few flurries lingering and then clear skies late. But check out the nighttime low. Friday night still looking brutal with a low of 10 degrees and that daytime high maybe optimistic at 27, probably closer to 25 or 26. But for your weekend, 41 still holding true for Saturday under some sunshine. We'll see a low of 23. That chance of snow later Saturday really is being pushed up until Sunday's forecast, where we should hit right around 43, 44 degrees. But we do have a 30% chance of some rain and snow, and it will be back and forth as the temperature does change. Oh, it's a wintry start to the year. Who knows what it's going to have in store in so many more ways than one. And lastly tonight, when you're at the helm and even the caboose, literally, for that matter, of a one-man show such as this, time is absolutely the one thing there's just never enough of. Taking time to look back at the year that we're just about to close the book on comes second to keeping you up to date with the news that's happening right now for the last day of 2013. A year that, like every other, has been full of ups and downs and tragedies and triumphs. One filled with everything from major weather events to even much more significant and emotional moments and achievements. Its excitement and wonder equally measured at other times by its heartache and pain. But for all those accounts, I am so eternally proud and so graciously thankful that you allowed me to share them with you. Just a guy and his desk who tries, often unsuccessfully, to be everywhere at once, but one who will continue to do his level best to keep you informed and entertained above all else. Whether it's with maybe the stroke of his pen or, more often than not, a thought or sight shared through his camera's lens. Happy New Year's, everybody. Thank you for watching. and have a good night.